Hey everybody, how you doing? This is Jim Grzanzio from the Oracle Groundbreakers team, and I'm here with Biju Thomas from Texas, and we're here to talk about the community, the Oracle ACE program, and autonomous database, and whatever else we can figure out to talk about.
Right.
This is a part of the Oracle Groundbreaker Yatra conference, which is taking place right now, last week and also next week as well. 3-week monster conference, I like to call it. And so, Biju, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Jim.
So,
Glad to be here.
good. I'm happy to have you here. So let's start off with a little bit about you, and, where you're from, what you do, and how did you get to where you are.
So, as you know, I'm Biju Thomas. Basically, I am from India. I moved to US in '96, and I've been living in Texas, in the Dallas-Fort Worth area ever since. I've not lived anywhere else in the US, always a Texan. So I'm pretty much a cowboy right now. My background is Oracle database. I started working with Oracle database back in '93 and started as a developer. Then did forms development and PL SQL development when PL SQL came out at the very first. And then I moved on to database administration. So I started DBA role in '95, '96 timeframe, and I've been doing as a DBA. Then have in 2000 I published my first book on Oracle certification. That was an Oracle 8i certification, and Oracle. I'm one of the first to certify Oracle 7.3, and I wrote an article in Oracle magazine about an 8i new feature, and Cybex at that time was planning to publish a certification guide. And they were looking for authors, and somebody saw my article in Oracle magazine and called, "Hey, do you want to write a book?" I said, "What?" We are looking for authors, and we like your writing style in the Oracle magazine. You wrote about Oracle 8i log miner, and we were wondering if you're interested to write a book and do you want to be author. I said, "I'd never done it. I mean, I've never thought about it. And what is that process like?" And she said, "We'll explain to you. Maybe what you can do is like pick a topic from the Oracle 8i certification and then write a chapter and send to us, and we will review." And I said, "Okay, I'll do that." So I did that, and they came back and said, "Okay, this is all you do. You just submit us the chapter and the content, the technical content. We will do the rest of the work." I said, "Okay, that's not bad." So that's how I started writing book. And the first book got published in 2000, and I got 5, 6 books now.
Oh, wow.
Till Oracle 12c. Haven't updated after 12c. Then I moved into Oracle solution architecture and cloud, and so pretty much busy with the various clouds. I mean, Azure and Oracle Cloud and Oracle databases is what I do now.
Cool. So just a couple of questions on that. I mean, the concept of writing a book always seems very daunting to me, and which is what your first reaction was when you heard they wanted you to write a book. What's it like? How did it go? I mean, you've got 6 books now.
Yeah, it is daunting. I mean, it takes a lot of time, and especially when you're writing a certification guide or certification book. I mean, people are not only paying for the book, they are also paying for the certification test. So if you don't have it right and don't deliver it appropriately with the sample questions and stuff, I mean, the pressure is high. So the accuracy need to be very, very high. So I have it like 2 technical reviewers. I mean, review the book, make sure that every bit of information is correct as much as possible. But still, there are errors, and we publish a right answer. But writing a book, and whether it is certification or not, I mean, it takes a lot of effort and a lot of time. Yeah.
Interesting. So you grew up in India, and now you live in the U.S., and you've been in this business for quite a while, and so you're writing books at this high level. And how have things changed over the years?
So from a book standpoint, things changed quite a bit, right? With Google and the cloud. I mean, on the cloud, things change daily. I mean, pretty much the interface you saw 6 months back is not the same interface you see today. So things change quite a bit in the cloud. And on the book side, now you have a lot of blog writers, a lot of technical content available on the web. So you are not really dependent on the books. I mean, the books get outdated pretty quickly. Um, I mean, I can see from the book sale numbers. I mean, I did really good with my 8A book. I mean, it's sold in thousands, many thousands, and now I can see the 12C book. I mean, it's still selling because it's a certification book. It is selling. It has more market than the other technical books. I mean, especially outside the US. But the even I don't buy books as much as I used to buy earlier, even though the book is available in electronic format and Kindle format and stuff. The number of books we buy and read are much less compared to when I started writing the books.
And and how do you keep up with the technology changes?
So I challenge myself. So basically, if you look at my Twitter or Facebook profile, I publish something called Aura Tidbit with the hashtag Aura Tidbit. And I also publish books and take up conference topics like this. I mean, comparing Amazon with autonomous database, things like that. So that gives me an opportunity to learn. So it is actually helping the community and helping myself more than the community, because I want to be technically current. So this gives me an opportunity, or what do you call? What is the right word for that? I'm missing the word. Anyway, that puts pressure on me to be current and be current on the technology. So that's why, I mean, I challenge myself. The Aura Tidbit I mentioned, that's a tidbit. I mean, I publish every weekday on Twitter. So basically, it's about an Oracle 19C feature or Oracle 20C feature or an Oracle Cloud feature. So that to find that tidbit, I mean, I go through the documentation, or I go through a blog or website and to find the information. So that gives me an opportunity to learn. And I also share blog contents from other authors. So I read them, or at least I skim through them and then understand what it is, and before I share it. So that gives me an opportunity to learn and keep up to date with what is happening in the market.
It's really amazing. You're very active, because I mean, and actually it requires that, because the whole business is, well, actually every business is changing now rapidly. The whole world is just going crazy on change. I mean, it's just everything is just increasing in speed. You mentioned Amazon. Let's get into your talk a little bit, comparing Amazon RDS Oracle DB with Oracle Autonomous Database. So this is a presentation you're giving at the conference here. And so what's up with that?
So this presentation is on Friday, July 10th. So I picked up Amazon and Oracle Autonomous Database. Basically, both have a managed service or managed services component behind it. Basically, when we announce new product, like Larry Ellison was telling with Oracle 8i or Oracle 10G, that you don't need a DBA anymore. This database does everything automatic, and that has come to life a little bit with Autonomous Database, because it takes care of a lot of DBA activities by itself. A similar product available in the market is the Amazon RDS, where the RDS team takes care of some of the database management aspect of the database management, the infrastructure provisioning, and stuff like that. So that's why I picked those two and say, hey, let's compare these two products. I'm not going to compare and say this is a better product or this is not this is a bad product or anything like that. I'm just trying to show the end user, like a DBA or a manager, trying to look at the product and say, what are the features available? What kind of flexibility you have in these services? What kind of privileges you have in these services? I mean, what kind of applications are suitable for these services? So that's what I'm trying to compare in my talk.
So is it for primarily, you mentioned DBAs and managers, is it like primarily to evaluate each one? Like, or to get into some of the features to where you can, use each one?
It is both, basically to more on the technical side. What features or what privileges you have. I mean, how much customizations you can have. For example, I mean, both do not give you the operating system side access, which means, I mean, you cannot run an application like Oracle E-Business Suite or anything like that on either of these services because you need the operating system service access. So Oracle E-Business Suite ERP is ruled out from both these services. So what other kind of applications are suitable for autonomous database and Amazon RDS, mostly custom built applications. And even with the custom built application, what kind of privileges do you need on the database, or what kind of configurations do you need on the database to run those applications? So that's what I'm trying to evaluate and compare what you have on either service.
Interesting. Okay. So let's switch gears here and talk a little bit about your Oracle ACE director status. I'm talking to a lot of ACEs in these conversations, and I know there's a great interest at Oracle internally to grow the program globally. And I've had many conversations with ACEs face to face as well as online now, and they too also want to grow the program. They see great value in the community, interacting with product people at the company, but also with themselves, right? And so I'm just wondering if you can just talk a little bit about your experiences with the Oracle ACE program.
The experience in 2020, the big thing I miss is the conferences. Usually I speak at the conferences and travel and meet a lot of people, Oracle ACEs and non-ACEs and technical people. One good thing with the ACE program is it's a network of technical people, right? I mean, whether you're seeing them, or I can always ping my ACE friends and then ask a question, or so we help each other. I mean, whether within the ACE community also we help, and also outside we help at the Oracle L forum or other forums, and the Oracle what's the TechNet forum, right? So we help there. And it's a networking community. Basically, the more you share and network, I mean, the more you learn and you help the community. That's the concept behind this program, I believe. And the various levels and contributions, I say don't really pay too much attention to whether you're associate or ACE or director. Basically, if you're part of the program, I mean, you are helping the community. That's what is what makes a difference. And I encourage a lot of people to come and be part of the program, because that gives you an exposure, and people know your name. And that also gives you an opportunity to meet other people and share your knowledge. And when you share knowledge, I mean, you acquire more knowledge, because that's the only way you can share knowledge. And you mentioned that in India, Oracle is trying to develop this program. I mean, yeah, I think that's really great in India and other countries. I think we have most of the ACEs from the US, I believe, or in UK and the Europe region, not in the Asia region.
Yeah, I think I haven't seen Jen's updated slides, but most of them are from the West. But yeah, the thing about India that's so unique is that it's a relatively small number of ACEs for a gigantic technical population.
Right.
There's a lot of, you go do an event there, and, there's an overwhelming number of technical people, whether they're developers or DBAs. And, a lot of these, actually, I should ask you the question, because my feeling is when I have conversations with the Indian community, a lot of these functions are blending. There's no pure developer. There's no pure DBA. A lot of these, tasks are blending now. So I don't know what to call some of these people because, like, I asked the question: is this a DBA community or is it a developer community? It says, well, that's changing. Years ago it was kind of strictly DBA, but now there's a lot of people who call themselves first and foremost developers. They just work with databases. Maybe they're database application developers, or maybe they're DBAs who are transitioning to do more developer-oriented functions.
Yeah. I think that is very true because especially with the cloud and the newer services like the autonomous database and stuff available, you are more of a developer than a DBA or a mix. I mean, you need to know both. You need to know the administration aspects. You need to understand how exactly something works, and then you'll be able to write better code. So I think being a mixture of both developer and DBA is definitely an advantage, and that's what is needed moving forward. I mean, if you want to grow. And on the previous point of not seeing many participation from India or other countries, one thing I mean that just came to my mind is probably because if most people from India are like me, I mean, we are usually introvert. I mean, not wanna talk openly or mingle with people and stuff like that. I mean, I had to work hard to come out of that shell. I mean, I couldn't believe that I'm an ACE director and I'm talking in conferences, because when I did it in 2008, my very first conference at Collaborate, I was like really nervous. That was my first talk, and going in front of an audience. I mean, how many people are going to be there? I thought, I mean, this is me, like first time presenting, nobody know me. So I don't want anybody in the room, maybe one person, so that I'll be comfortable, right? So that nervousness, and I mean, once you come out of that, once you do that, then you become comfortable. And once you go to the conferences and talk to the other speakers or other presenters there, you understand that, I mean, everybody has the same challenge. Everybody is going through the same thing. So then you feel, okay, you are not alone. I mean, you are not the one having nervousness meeting people or seeing people. So I think that may be a reason why people are not coming forward. Because I mean, I know, as you said, there are highly technical people in India. They just have to mix the technical capabilities with their interpersonal and community involvement. Then you'll see more people exposed out.
Yeah, so I think we definitely, people on my side who are sort of involved in these programs. I'm only sort of peripherally involved, but reaching out to people like you mentioned, and hey, Biju, I really, I'm hearing good things about you, and from multiple people, you ought to consider this kind of thing. Us directly reaching out, right? And then you're right. I mean, it's. I think even Westerners, you go through the initial shyness of presenting and things like that. I was talking to somebody a little bit earlier, one of the earlier interviews I was doing, and he said something like, "You just have to be willing to be not very good in front of people." I mean, it takes practice, right? It just takes practice. It's like anything, when you learn a new subject, it takes practice, right? But I mean, you've certainly, I mean, to be able to write 6 books, I mean, when you write that number of books, you certainly have a very high level of expertise. You're going to get speaking positions as a result of that, and so you're going to have a lot of community interactions. You did it. And so someone like myself, who I'm naturally shy, I'm not supposed to be in front of the camera like this, I never sort of envisioned that. And I'm much more comfortable behind the camera being a producer than I am actually doing this, to be brutally honest. But the point is, I look at other people and I say, well, he did it, she did it. They're not that much smarter than me, So other people can as well. So
Yeah, I
do
mean,
you,
if I can do this, I mean, anybody can do this because if people know me back from 25 years or 30 years back, I mean, I was like, okay, very too shy. I don't talk to many people and stuff like that. I mean, now I learned to party and learn to drink beer and stuff like that. So, yeah,
so what's up next for you? I mean, obviously, since we're all um, virtual now, you must be participating in a lot of these sort of online conferences. I'm wondering, I actually have been participating in these things as well, either presenting or just as a audience member, and I've
yeah.
developed some opinions about them. I'm just wondering what you think about them.
Yeah, I'm spending more time in front of the computer and Zoom meetings nowadays. Obviously, I have two sessions this week. On Friday itself, I have two presentations, and then another one also in July. So the conferences are all virtual, but we are still. I'm glad that the organizers have moved to virtual and not entirely canceling the conference. So that's a good thing because we are. Another good thing with this online is people like me can participate in a conference happening in India. So it's more global, and usually the OGYatra. I was part of the OTN Yatra back in 2016.
Wow.
I became an Oracle ACE director in 2015. So the very next year, April, I did the OTN Yatra. It was Oracle Technology Network at that time, OTN Yatra. With the Connor and Rias at that time, people, and Connor is a regular presenter in the Yatra team. But there, I mean, we were traveling from city to city, and there are only very few people can attend the talk and stuff. I mean, here we were repeating the same talk in every city. I mean, here you do the talk only one day, and if you're not able to attend, you can go back to the recording and watch it later,
Right.
or you can be anywhere and attend. So it is kind of beneficial, and I think going forward, I mean, this teaches us a lot of opportunity that going forward, maybe even if it's an in-person conference, there has to be some element of a webinar component in there.
Right.
Would help to have more participants, because travel, many people cannot travel all the time.
Right. Right. Yeah, no, it definitely is a forcing function for a lot of change. That
Mm-hmm.
when regular conferences start up again in a few years or whenever that
Yeah,
it'll
a
be.
few months hopefully.
I specifically said years.
Yeah.
um, that it, because I think it'll be interesting to see, just as these online conferences will evolve and become more sophisticated. I think when we do in-person events, those too will be more sophisticated as well, and they will, as you said, maybe contain an online component.
Yeah.
But it's the value, the resolution of being in the same room, shaking people's hands, hugging them. I know those are all bad words now, but I say them freely. No, we are not going to be socially distant forever. I'm
Right.
sorry. That's just
Yeah.
human.
That's
Look at human history. That's just not how it works. And so,
right.
that's a big deal. You get with these hallway conversations, the dinners, the side conversations. Many people don't realize that when you go to a conference, particularly if you're a speaker, or if you're really, really interested in the topic, if you've gone through the expense of traveling halfway around the world, you're up at 6 o'clock in the morning. You go to sleep at 1 or 2 o'clock,
Right.
these are breakneck events.
Uh-huh.
I have never attended a conference. I've been in technology for 20 years. I have never attended a conference where I wasn't completely physically and mentally exhausted at the end of every single day.
Yeah. I
Literally
know.
in pain
Mm-hmm.
from speaking too much and eating too much and just being up and around and stuff like that. And
Right.
that has a bonding effect when you're going through this with all these people, or with a team, or with the community.
Right.
That has a specific bonding effect that I think that one of the things that we're missing out right now. So.
Yeah, that is very true. So that bonding effect. I mean, even though you know that you are tired, but you still don't want to go to bed, right? Because you want to talk to the people
Right.
and enjoy that company. So that's the thing we means now. And one other thing I want to say is that if somebody wanna present a new speaker, I mean, if you are very nervous and don't want to present in front of a community, maybe a webinar is a good opportunity, right? Because you don't have to face the people. You can turn off your camera. You can just talk to yourself and then I mean that will be a good starting point for the new people who want to get into the community and get into the ACE program, or I mean, I wouldn't say getting into the ACE program should be the goal, but share to the community. The ACE status and everything will come naturally. That's what my point is. I mean, basically you if you love sharing your knowledge, if you love the community work, do that. I mean, the recognition will follow.
Right. Interesting. Well, those are really good tips, Biju. Thank you very much. Appreciate your time, and I'm really glad that you're presenting here in a couple of days. This will be about comparing Amazon RDS Oracle DB with Oracle Autonomous Database.
Autonomous database, yeah. All right.
Okay.
Thank you
All
very
right.
much
Thanks. Get that
for the
call.
opportunity, Jim. Yeah. Thanks everyone.
All right. Bye-bye now.